Uvanga atega igluguk, daniktaga Diana Marie Jacobsen, Inuvik toanga aklagaving me, hin ilihak tunga White Horse me, ilihakavik bang me, the Yukon University. Gatimak toagut mani inuving me, Inuvialuit Language Gathering, hin kuyachak tunga mani tunga.
What would you like beneficiaries to know, so the people that weren't able to attend the workshop, that what happened?
I would like to let the Inuvialuit know that gathering together is so important. What we saw today, or this whole week, was just amazing. We're all Inuvialuit, and we may have different dialects. The language, the base language is still the same, and to see everybody come together and speaking, and I think it's important that we gather. And another member of the meeting mentioned that we need to also celebrate. So I think something that we should look into and think about is have a celebration each night, or a huge gathering at the end, just to celebrate our successes of the week. Like, it was a very empowering gathering, I felt. There were a lot of emotions felt, like lots of opening up and thinking back to, great memories, and thinking of families, their lifestyles, and we all connected because that's what we did, how we lived, and the languages that were spoken, or the language spoken with each other, and learning each other's dialects. One thing that I reflected on was thinking of my nanak, who I called Mommy. She raised me. She would come to visit in, like, say, Tuktuyak, and a friend of hers would come over and she'd be speaking their dialect. I'm like, wow, I didn't know she could speak their dialect. Or we'd have relatives come from Alaska. And again, I was like, okay, this woman is like phenomenal. She knows these dialects, knows how to speak to others. But as I learned growing up, even more better was her dad was able to speak Gwich'in when he went and traveled around to like the fort, the old Crow Flats area. And it was his brother and other members, so they learned each other's languages. And I think we need to learn from that. I'm hoping that we can stop saying, you're not saying that right, or it's doing more damage. Think back to our elders who were able to learn how to speak to each other. Listen. I think that's key in learning how to sit and listen. Really listen and try and capture the language before it's too late. We want to stop that now.
Adidu Inuit humilika, Inubaktaga, Atega Shokralok, Dataga Ataranga Shokralok, Atanga Aichunikangani, Alaskaman, Taniktaga, Inubaktaga, Vanessa Joan Malegana, Aglan Inuit Tuklugu Dodie Nik Taharanga, Dataga Dailaikanga Joni, Daitna Dodie Nik Tuklugu Kangani, Nagaluni, Ilanaga Wayne Kwana making up the Tuklugu Joni Nikta, Ulai Chalk, Daitna Dodie Nik, so Daitna Dodie Nik Atinik Achiguranga, Inuit Tukluguranga Dodie Nik, Makbiga Kunkihenik Atibera, Vanessa Joan Atuguria. Ting Murala Guagama, Gavamite Makbigangit Lo, the Manna Vanessa Joan, Taniktaga, Makbigani Kunkihenik Atugugia, Aglan, Paniga de Guagalo, Atironica, Vanessa Nick Atikagana Koklo, Diguvika, Dora Malegana, Johnny Malegana Lu Atatatka, 2 weeks Nata Nickman, Pikangani, Pipirang ngakama dait na ang yuka beka Martina Malegana, Inuving Aba Bega, Dusty Crothers, Dr. Aktumi Inuvialuit, Daitna Inuvik Datatka, Dodie Malegana, Dodie Malegana lo, ऊᕙᒍաթ Inuvitun, Inuvialuit, Daitna Inuktikangani, Inuvialuit Gehenik, ऊᕙᒍաթ, Danictun ऊᕙᒍաթ, ナᕕᒥ니ᖅᐳᑦ. Daitna Danictun immersion nik daigugait, ナᕕᒥ니ᖅኒ, Inunegvingni, Inuit, ऊᕙᒍաթ, Inglagan, 1960s, 1970s, 1980s miluni, Inubedun ऊᕙᒍաթ, Inunegvingatni achlagavingmi, Inuneronga achlagavingmi, Anironga Inuvingmi, in 2 weeks nadanikman pikkangani adatatka Dodie Malegana, Dodie Malegana lo. ऊᕙᒍաթ udokkanat pulagu kamigitatatka nanagalo. Daitna duhaguragut Inubedun Inuvialuit adaramik pulagu kamik duhagurat umagmutun ऊ梏henik salagmutun lo ऊ梏henik iga hongmin pulaktu pulagurat tukturaktumin lo salagmutun ऊ梏henik duhaguragut. Daitna ऊ教ᒍաթ maminik dukhlugu kavut kangma nanangma Dodie Malegana, maminik mami dukhlugu kavut aglan dadak daitna dukhlugu kavut lo. Ilangit anyatka granny nik dadak niklu dukhlugu kangatlo. ऊ教ᒍաթ danictun. Ahin inunegvingmi udokkanat inuitlu ऊ教ᒍgurat Inubedun aglan pangmapak duharonga inunegvingatni udokkanat inuakbar taimagani kamika ऊ教ᒍաթ Inuit Inubedun. Tapgot Inuit Inuvik ananangatni dadangatni gehenik tapgot Inuit Kitekudlak Inubedun. ऊ教ᒍթlu talimatluni ilhimagit katapgot ananangatlu dadangatlu ऊ教ᒍgu kamik taimini inugukangatu tichangit gehenik Kitekudlak ilanatka. Aglan inunakapta mikangapta kyu hinyagurat danictun. Kitekudlak dogut aglan kyu hinyagurat mamaga agangma dadaglu danictun. CBC mi akiaktagu kapku daimini Dorothy kilalukkeagagini akami upanagami ivaklilait namik havaktinik bekhrokangani daimini atangaraga ilihagavengatni yelanaifmi havatlagama CBC mi ilihardungagama upanagami malongnikuvlumika ihumyukublugu daitna Inubedun CBC mi havatlagama hin daitna ihimaronga havangit kuma oktuangit kuma excellent chipuan nikihenik Inuit udokkanat tuhaniaktut bingahut hanahuigavingmi. Daitna ihimakapkit udokkanat Inubedun tusavingmi tuhagniangitwat bingahongnik hanahuigavingmi. Daitna ang kulutikaga igu kavatlarunga bingahongnik hanahuigavingmi. Dorothy daimini kilalukkeagakami. Bingahongnik daitna akiaktagu kaga Dorothy tusavingmi na laudidikun. Aglan nut nama Alberta man 2004 miluni havafangitronga CBC North mi na laudidikun. Aglan daimini ilatka kuliutinegitkalu atchatka tiguagnik mat mga datagalu nanagalu atchatka Adaratun Itdot, Emma Edwards, Mabel Cherno, Martina Malegana lu Kabega Lina lu Joyce lu Ataraget Dotun Itdot Angalot ka Wilson Malegana Walter Malegana lu Abiarotun Itdot Atarat kalu Ilangit Emma lu Mabel lu Martina lu Lina lu Kapfichanik Agarotun lu Itdot Ikayuguk kang nanang mamanga Dora Inunya Wukapta Mikanga ma akhlagwing me. Hino ubinakakrami au laktagura gut kivigalug neagurat daimani ubinakakrami hin aihura gut akhlagwing mun ukeakrami ilihagayak haganak ilihagayak kapta skugaya fagana kapta aglan daimani kivigalug neagurat mamagalo Amaukhlugalo Ingnik, Lucy Irish, Georgia, All Irish, Lu, Aulakt, Urok, Lu, Dauhiniki Henik, Dautukaga, Georgia, Ihrachloganir, Kamigit Fiberglass Nick, Kayanga, Daimini, Dauhinanik, Daut, it cut Lagiga, Georgia, Aglan, Ingnik, Amaukluga, Ilhimagiga, Inu nikman huli mikingagma. Ahin malong nikaw kauhenik tuhagu ragu tataga inibetun honga rabirak tok kauhenga umagmutun lu tuhagu ragu ta ukagu kamika Inuvialuit inibetun. Uvangay hin pingahongnik nutaka kaktunga Bamio, Roland, John Malegana, Igniga, Thompson, Manitoba, Mituk, Havaktuk Davani, Baniga Kalapsuk, Jessica Malegana, Banigalo, I'm a Nituk, Edmonton, me, Guduk, Banigalo, Tewaga, Grand Prairie, Mituk, Hin Kalapsuk, Baningma, Jessica, Ikayuanga, Munagigu, Kapgulu, Tutichega, Matu Dugurak Inubektanga, Danik Banalin Malegana, Akimaniko Kilurk Pangmapak. Edmonton Mituklu, Munagagu Kapkulu, Hinlu Dait na Bingahungnik Nudaka Kaptunga, Dau Hinik Tuticha Kaptunga, Nibet Chanik Pangmapak. Daimini Akhlagaving me, Nutonga, 1990 me nutonga inuving me Inuvialuit havagavangat ni Joint Secretariat me havaktonga 1994 munaglan hinutonga havagavaga ilihagaving me Sams ilihagavingat ni havaktonga lu hindaimini nadikapku grade 12 nadikaptu 1982 me Fort Smith Muktonga Iliagaktonga Ilihartinik Hin Ilihartironga Hivalipianik 1985 min 1986 Munaglan Mangilaluk Ilihagavengat ni Tukturak Tumi Hin 1990s mi King Batigun Fort Smith Muktonga Nachihukaga Ilihakpaga Tikrinik Taniktan Daigugait Saskatoon Muktonga Luhi Himanikukionika Iliharti Fagina Kwanga Ilihakpangmun Daimini havaktonga Yellowknife me 1999 miluni Ilihartironga Ilihagavangat ni Davini Ilihartironga lu Northern Alberta me havaktonga Itchilinanik Inbeanik lu Havangnikun Angalachagavingat Hivunuktingat Havagavangat ni Davini havaktonga Northern Alberta me Hinut nama White Horse mun CBC mun tusaving me Ihagudi tusaving nik 2015 min 2017 munagalan Inuvialuit tusaving na allowed it to ukaktinik havakaraginik kwanga hin 2017 min nuttonga Edmonton mun tusav Daharuranga Havaktonga Tanington Daigugait Archivistnik Kuleaktonik Inglagan Hanik Inuvialuit Inubetun Inuiktun Sadlagimutun Kuleaktonga Kuleaktonganik Havaktonga Aglautik Gagalu Ukionga Kihudokaktot Mikirochenik Hunik Kuleaktoa Kamiklu Namitilanganiklu Aulakparaguratlu Adaw hinikag dait na hinikarkabisnik Kuleaktonik Daharonga Hinlo 2019 mi havak karaganakwanga tusavignik Edmonton mi havaktunga huli tusavignik na lauditikun na Inuvialuit tusaving mi Pangmapak ilihartunira payogun negit ka paningma kilapsuk inibaktanga tutichagalo I'm having meet namika ilihartunira negit ka Inuvialuit iliharting it kupkit nutakavut tutichevutlu bigong nyak tutinibetun ukhahevut ilihartivir hroraut Inuit ilihamaktot nutakkahi tutichehi ilihartit lagafi nibetun nakuni aktotait na Inuvialuit na tangmanginanget choktay maginanget ilokait ni Inuit yakhagamika Inuvialuit Mikiroche Nikovlini Unini Hagudigupfi Tait na Bigong Nangit Gibuta Okauhibut Hinlu Ilauranga Gatimakamika Tanington Language Keepers Okauhilikrit Uvani Inuving mi Ilauganikwanga Bekroganik mga Angalatingat Ikirlagama itne hinika katimakparagani kamik Inuvialuit nunan lanin Inuakbar do katlarot Inuvialuit gangakidlarot Inuvialuit lu Inuiktun lu magmutun saldagamutun ukauhangat katimanekwat tangmakungit luit utit kublugo ukauhibut tangmakungit luit dait na katimanekwat uvani hanahuegaving mi ukauhilikidit hinlo Inuit kuyachaviraganikwat katimatlaganik lakamik kuvehu viraktot annautiniraganiakamit ukauhibut pikpagibiragait ilaurat uvani Inuving mi pikpagibiragait ukauhibut Inuit takapkangabiraktatlu Inuit kuvehu viraktot Inuvialuit ukakanikamik ilangat Inuit ilaurat ukalaitchot kankilaitchot ilihartirot Inuvialuit ilangat uvanin nakwatlu ilihima ilichihu viraktot Inuvialuit ukauhenik kakparaganakangat Inuvialuit ukauhebut Bigo kungit lugo, ikayo kublugo, ihimiutilioganakwat, kanutun ikayot lagay, tang may kungit lugo, ukauhibut, abekro kangat, kapitsan ikatimafahok gumik, kanuk ukautit laratlu, kanutun hongra fat lagay, ukauhibut, kakparaganakwat, ukauhiniklo. Dait na bigo kungit gait kapena viraktuta pangmapak Inuakbar ukalaitchot Inuvialuit gangkilaitchot lu Inuvialuit kanuklika ikirlagamik Inuit havagavengat ni ikayukablugat lu havaktot Inuvialuit ilihartit lakablugat lu makbiganon huniklika ikayukablugat lu havagurat ilihartigurat Inuvialuit lu kuleaktot ukaktot kanudun ikayukablugat ukauhebut. So just to summarize, just the ending part of being involved here in the Language Keepers Conference, in the ikaw-hilikidit conference, not conference, but the working gathering meeting. And it was about ways to revitalize and strengthen the language and to prevent it from becoming totally lost and totally gone, because we're a generation away or two from losing the languages. And there was a lot of discussions at the language conference about the different ways to revitalize the language, what supports can be done and provided for people that are teaching the language, for the communities, what supports can be provided to the communities in order to keep their languages alive. And there's also people that were sharing stories about how they learned the language, about their language, their Inuvialuit experiences, how they learned Inuvialuit, their Inuvialuit learning experience. There were many people that were very passionate, including ourselves, of keeping our language alive and preventing it from being lost. People were very happy to be with each other. People were very touched when the Inuvialuit language was spoken, especially by the ones that had lost their loved ones. And it was very near and dear to their heart. There was a lot of emotion, there was a lot of passion, and there's a strong desire to revitalize and bring back the Inuvialuit language. The learners that for past reasons, including residential school experiences or other experiences, they have a strong desire to learn Inuvialuit. So there's been a lot of discussions at the ikaw-hilikidit Regional Language Keepers working meeting on ways to bring back our language, to strengthen our language and prevent it from being lost. Language plans, the language plan was discussed, and feedback and direction was provided on the direction that they wanted it to go. You had from elders to other people talking about how it has to be a living document, and action plans and other things are going to be followed up with, and assessments, and as well as a survey that'll be going out to find out how many people are fluent in the language, how many are intermediate speakers, how many can understand but can't speak, because we have a lot of people too as well that can understand it but don't speak it. So the survey wants to capture how much of that is out there, how much can people understand, how many people are left that can speak, because the data is quite old. So there's a lot of direction up. They want to find out who's left and what can be done to revitalize and bring back the language and prevent it from being lost. And there was talk about something drastic has to be done. There needs to be, and you've also heard people saying you need to be more aggressive about and provide more advocacy for bringing back the language. So, and there was a lot of discussions, and a lot of people were. It was good to hear the stories, the Inuvialuit stories. It was good to hear the language, and that's about it. Mm-hmm.
Uvanga Helen sanikpiak Kitekudlak ulukhaqtoong miutauyunga ilat ka pagatimimimugana maama maga Nora hayulaq tema inungulerama aapamnillu amaamamnillu malrungnik uqauhernik tuhaavaktunga aappaga sallermiutun uqayungman amaamagattauk kageriuarmiutun taima ilaani kipuktileraagaptigit ilaani iglalerpaktuk kihimik ayuiqautivaktaatigут kitulluakkut kituptaivaktaa uqauheq tammaqqayarpiaqqaarruni tahapkununga residential school mi iliharpakkaluarama aigama kihimik uuktorpaggunga kaaqittaaleqamalu uqainnaleqapku uvamnunoqartunga taima tammait qilimaitaqa iliharvingmi havakpaleqama taima ilihautigaangapkit piqayuit piarmata atoqtaggainnik taigugaggainniklu taiqattagaggainniklu taima ilihautiatkalu uvangalu aatiliorrugit amigaariumeqpiarmata taima aallanullu atoqtaggait tunivaktavun taima oqauhiqqut uqaraanginnarpiaraluarmata Inuit hakuikpiartuugaluang kihimik talvanga 1971mi avaleqama iliharvingmi taimaaqama 2011mi oqartut ikiklerpiartu kangerrittaartullu tatsa nunallaavut inillaavut hamani nunakpunmi ilangit oqayuktun inuinnartun Inuvialuktullu ikiklivalliayun ilangit tammaqqayarpiartun oqayuktut inuinnartun o Inuvialuktun taimaatut hamna katimaqatigiyavut ilihimayun oqartullu qanortun ihumagiyaan hakuissiumavlugu uqauhiqtik ilitturipkarumavlugillu Inuit uqauhiit tammaqtinnagin ikiklivallaarpiarmata oqarpaktullu kagerrittaartullu taimaatut hakuissipkarumavlugu atauttimi katimayugun quanarpiartoq Inuitamaita tahapkuat oqaqtigiktut titerarnikkullu qanortullu takuyumayait oqauheq hakuissequvlugu inillaamingni hamani katimaqatauyunga havaqatigiissugit haaffuma havaktiata ataniata assaultiin groupinlu tahapkuallu aulapkaiyugut tallimani ubluni qanortut piniarmangaan hunaniklu oqariniarmangaata aperruutaitigullu tamatkirahorrittugit inillaat hamani nunakpunmi quyagiatkap Beverly Amos Dodie Malegana Marie Jacobsen havaktutamaita aulapkaitilluta tuhavaktugut ihumaaluutainning qanortullu hakuissiyumayait oqarpaktun hivunnammingniglu qanortun inniarmangaan inernissaavullu oqayuktun unipkaayuktun ikiklivalliangmata qanortuttaaq inerningulertut ilauquvlugin ilihaquvlugit taimaatullu mumik titeriyut ikiklivallianginnarmata titerayuktullu aulapkaiyullu qanortullu uqauheq atoqtaalaqina hoqillugu tamainni aimaviannilo havagviinnilo niuvaaviinnilo hilamiinnarlu maneqqamilu taima atoqpalerumavlugu hivumuisutiggap mingnik hivumuisitiggammingnik katimagamik uqarivaktain tainiinnikkullu havaqatigiiglutik hummiliqaak uqaleqtaaq qormavlutik uqauhermingnik tahamna aallanguvaktuugaluaq tamainni inillaani titerarnikkut inuvialuktukkut atauhermi atoqtauvangman tamaanni inuinunanganni taimaatut pihimayoq titerarnik atauhingorrugu taimaatut tamaan nunavalungni taigortuggaq atoqtuggaq pilerman taimaatut taigortaaq piartut atauttikkut tahapkuanginnait titerarnikkut atoq okay I'm
You're getting tired. No worries.
no I can't the pronunciation of that word atoqtauvaleriangani atoqtaulangman ilangit uqauhit aallangavio galuarrutik taiguriami ihuarriyoq taimaatullu ikayoqatigiigupta nunallaaptingni hakuiggiyuuminiartuugaluaq tahamna uqauheq aggut uvaptingni ittong itqaumavaktugullu qanortunutarauvluta uqauhiptingnik ilihalerapta qanortullu hakuiggiyuumivlugu qanortullu pimalugu munarilugu aulapkarnahuarrugu nutaqqaptinnullu inngutaptinnullu hivuniggainnik qanortun ilihariami uuktorumayugun inuitamaita qanortun ilittaaqtamingnik ilihimagumik qanortullu ilihausjautinik ilihimagumik tahapkuan hamani havaktut uqauhit miggaagut hivayarlugit ihumagiyatik ayuerrautit uqarpakkumikkit atoqtauniartun quanaqquri
Uvanga atera aani Inuktalik amaamangma aterrimayaanga qunguattugalak atia maamangma taatia aappanga aahit taanna aappaga ataataga ateqarviginnertara qunguattugalangmik aahittauq anaanaga atia alikammeq amaamangma amaamaa yeah okay
Oh, keep going if you have more.
no
Okay.
uluqartuurmiutaujunga an uqauherattauq kangeriuarmiutu
And do you have Inuvialuit name, and does it mean anything?
qunguattugalak taamna atterautiga attera amaamangma atterrimayaanga pitquhianik tahapumuuna ilihimangitara hunaungmangaan kihimik ilihimayara ataataga atia kunguattugalak tuktuhiuyuktoq pitigginnun qangaraaluk pitiggitahapkuat Boanero tuktuhiuyuk tutahapkunuuna anaanagattauq aippaqiplugu ikajorrugu tuktuhiuleraangamik taima qaniglileraangata tuktut haniannut aqpajuarruni unuorpaktainngooq tahapkuata inuggungnut tuktui tahapkuata qariglileraangata inuggungnut ataatattiara iirrimajoq tahapkunani inuggunni utaqqivlugit tuktui tahapkuat tikileraangata piuminarrigaangata pitiggigugit taima pitiggugugit tuktunik amigaittunik ukiaggami pilerpaktuunnertut aannoraaggamingnik anaanattiara uqquyunik atiginiglu kamingnigglu pualuniglu atoqtaggamingnik ukkioraaluk tamaat naamanahuarrugit tuktuhiorpaktuunnertu taima tuktut ingilraleraangata haniannut tal qangaraaluk taima pitquheraluarannertaat.
Qonna. So can you tell us a little bit about kind of how you learned your language and how any like early memories of people speaking around you, like how was that a part of your life, your language?
Taima inuulerama tuhalerpaktatka uqartut uqauhiptingnik inuinnartut amaamamnit ilamnit angamnillu angatka malruit amaamangma aniutait brothers and attamnillu attatkallu amigaittullu tahapkuan Inuit ilagit inuqativingmingni kuugiuarmi ilerpangneramik iqaluggiorrutik nattarriorrutik tuktuhiorrutiklu inuulukaartut ubluummaat huliblutik uqamalukaarrutik uqauhermingnik uvanga tuhaavlunga uqauhiit taima ajuerrimayunga uqauhianik talvuuna kaeriuarmiutun. I talked a little bit today about the story about my mother. That one was a story from what she used to tell me long ago.
Yes.
I can tell that same story if you want me to.
We should have that already. So
Already?
we
Okay.
could talk about something else.
Maybe I can tell about how my lifestyle as we travel through the region and
We can maybe let's here I can ask you a little bit too about maybe what brought you to this gathering. Maybe
Oh,
we could talk a
okay.
little bit about that.
this part. Okay.
Yeah, this
Okay.
ICRC, why you decided to come.
Okay. Tafuminga hafuminga at pinahualang ng mata, katimanahualang ng mata hamani tuhayunga ang nakatimnit ani kusimit ukalautianga hamani inuving mi katimanahualak tunngok ukauhiptigut ukalukarlutik workshoplutik katimablutik ukakatigiglutit Inuit amigaitut taimatu tuhapkang mga apasing mga ilaw niarehamnik ang ikimayunga talvani Yalunai miitilut tataimaatut apahingmat angin laktunga. Hitaaqtalvanga hamani katimanahualang mata ayaw yukhaw yugaluyugut hamunganut kakimabluta ilaulaqtugut hamani. Ilaubluta uqauhang mik uqalakhutik hamani uqalukaahutik imaatullu uqauhaqput ayuqalaq palangmat ingilqainnarwangmat inuhiptingne nutaqqavullu kangakhilimaaqpiarmata sikuurvingne imaaqanortut hakugisitus tikkaanillu imaatullut tuhaapqarumablugillu inumnullu nutaqqanullu atoquinnaleqqublugu inuhiupta ubluqtamaat missaagut taima hamani katimangmata hamungauhimayunga ilaulaqhunga tuhaagapkutahamna hamaniinnahualangnangmata.
And how does it feel like, to be in this workshop with working with language revitalization, that it's coming up, it's hearing everyone speak it around. How does that feel to be here this week?
Iya. Nakuqpiaqtuq tuhaavakkapta nunaqatiging niluhamani qanortut uqauhermingnik ikayuutiksamingnik quyagiyatka katimangmata ima uqauherput ikayornahorrittugu aulapkarnahorrittugu hivuniptingnut kingungaffam tingniullu nutaqqanun aulainnaqublugu taima qanoqa pitquhiksainnik ikayuqriaptingne uqauhik nikku taamna aulainnaqublugu taamna uqarivaktaqqun hamani quviagiyaqa taimailiormata hamani nakuuyuq ila ikayorhuumagapkillu uvanga uqauhit put tammaqunagu aulainnaqublugu hivuniptingne imaatullu aulapkariaangani ikayuutiksaptingnik ihumatqubluta itqaruptaqqanorliqaak uqartuksauyuugaluuyugut uvangattauq ihumayunga ima taamna uqauhiqput ikayorumablugu hivunipti aulainnaqublugu nutaqqat inuilluqaak ilangit uqauhiqtik tammarmagu ukkuata ikayuutiksaugaluattauq pitquirli aallangoquttainnarmat hapkuat atuqtait ikayuuteqarpalerlutik ukkuninga internet miglu phoneiutiniklu tahapkuninga atoqpalerumikkik ukkuat uqauheqput talvunga iluanungarlugu nutaqqallu inuillu tautuktaksainning hillu tainiit nakuuyumik ihuaqtumik tuhaaquvlugit iluani talvani phoneiutini iya taimaatullu ihumayuugaluuyunga tahapkunane kihimiktau ilaani una dictionaryttauq atuleqpaktaat Inuit taanna nutaaqpiliuqhimayaat ilaani atorluarungneerpaktaa nutaqqan just like iqiagillerrugu taamna atoqnahorrituugalaarrugu sikuurvingne ilaanittauqa puiguinnarpakkamik hunaungmangaat dictionary takun tautukkaluarrugu tuhaanginmat una dictionary maqpiraanginnaungman taimaittumik ihumayuugaluuyunga una uqauheqput tuhaayaggaqqun hiit tautuklugu uqauheq taamna hiittauq tuhalraarlugu takulraarlugu uqauheq hiittauq tailugu uuktorlugu tainia taima uqarpalerumik tuhaavallerumiklu qanortuta uqauhermik tainikkamik ihuaqtumik taamna ikayuutaulluarniarunarriuq ubluqtamaat tigumianginnaramikkuli una atuinnaramikku ubluqtamaat tuhavalero mig uqauhek mig iluani talvani tahamnalu uqauhek pitkuhip tingnut ublumat nalaumat kalerlugo pitkuhip kun uqariyaga ima how time changes and how generations change. So we have to go with the flow and that. So sometimes we ilani uqariqput atauhi nangili uqaliqpang mata puniutini tahamani titeraqimayunik tahapkuang utoqqariuangugamik nutanik taininiglu nutanik uqarvikhaniglu pivalerumik ublumut ihuaqtumut pitkuhinnut Inuit ublumi atoqtaggainik ihuatqiauniarunarriuq aahillu aliaginiarunarriait nutaqqallu Inuitlu uuktornahuartut uqauhiarmingni kangriuarmiutut qanortulleqaa.
What would your dream be for your language, you know?
Yeah. Sikuqtitiugaluaramaqaaraalu uqauhiqnik tuhablunga ilimagama taiguq niillu uqauhiarni taiguqtaarapkin titeraqtaarapkillu taimaittumik sikuqtitiungorrimayungaqaaraalun kihimik sikuqtitiiu huerama imaatut kihimik ayuerrautiblugit hulit jutainik nunallaaptingni ima meqornikkulluunniit aullaarnikkulluunniit auyamillu summer campilerpangmata nutaqqat pitkuhiit ingilraat atorrugit piffiliorrutaluunniit ammeqiblu-taluunniit qanortulleqaak nunami ittuta uqauhiqputaamna ilihimagapku atorrimagapku nuttarauvlunga tahapkuninga nutaqqanik ilihautinahurritpaksunga or even inernereniglu arnaruttinik inuuhuktuniklu havaqatimnigluunniit ukuattauqa imaatut ayuerraigaangapta nutaqqanik inungnikluunniit imaa quvianartumik quviahuk tiggainnik ilihaqtukkauiugaluuyugut alianartumi nutaqqat quviahungniaraamik iliharumik sahapkuninga aahillu qanortullu ima takugaangapkilluunniit ilaani ilihaqtat kanutaqqat aperrileqpaktatka ilaani qanuq uqauermik ublumit ilihaqpita and then they would answer the answer to me kiuvaktut ilaani nakuyumik ilaani tauqpuigoqpaktut qilaminnuaq hamna uqaueq tuhayaggaragaptigu ubluqtamaan taimaalu tuhanginnaqublugu uqauheqput ittaggariyagaluaqqut kihimik ulapitpaktugut TV-niglu hunanigleqaak nutaqqat ulapitpaktut aahillu uqauhermingnik puigorrutik qablungaanginnartuttau uqaleqpaktut ilaani kihimik tahamna uuktortaggariyagaluarput uqauheqput agguurlugu ilaani ajornarrivakkaluartillugu kihimik una uqauheq uuktuutiggaugaluar inungnut ilihautinut tamainnut.
And what and pretend like you know you're speaking to them. What is something you want, you know, youth, like maybe younger students, people wanting to learn Inuanaktun, or even like people in leadership, right? Like, what do you want them to know about your language? What do you want the world to know about your language?
Ima uqauhera tuhat kublugo imatut ihumariaga ukauhera kariyang miutun itong ilihakhimayaga ilamnin ahille ilvit kariyang miutauguvit tahamna inuinnaktun ukauhek atong nahwak paglugo ayoy khang nahwak paglugo pitkuwikkut huligaluak tillutit mekhugaluak tillutin huligaluak tillutit sikogaluak tillutit ulapkigaluak tillutilluunnit anything yeah.
And what are you hoping, after last day? Tomorrow is the last day. Oh my gosh. What are you hoping that the group or ICRC or, all these language speakers, what are you hoping can come out of this, at the end of the day?
Tomorrow?
Yeah, to walk away from this. What are you hoping we can get out of this?
Imatut ihumayugaluyu nga inarupta akago. Ilupting na kuwehuk tukawyugut ima tahamna ukawhekput ikayo kumagublugo tammakunago ukawhekput imatullo ihumazutikhainiglo ikayutikhaptingnik nunallanit ayuekharupta ihumaptingne pisutainigli uktorlugit aimavaptingne ukawhektaha fumuna hivuatigut uktuinnaqtaaqtaqqut ahillu tahamna ukawhekput nunallaaptingne atuinnaqublugu.
And I have kind of a fun question. Do you have a favorite word in your language or a word that's very special to you in Inuinnaqtun? And if so, why is it so special?
Piqpagigipkit. That's really what I always like that because my mother told imatun mamang maukaw lauti mga inuin ngok tamaita piqpagilugit kuwiagilugit ima ikayong nahawgilugit ahilo kakpatalunit ikayokherumagpatalunit alapaqatalunit iglungnut itaktilugit tiitoqtillugit neripkarlugit imalunit kuwiahungit pata kuwiahoqublugit uqaqatigilugit inuinnaqtut kuwiattagiangille.
That's beautiful. And if you were to describe this gathering in one Inuinnaqtun word,
That's kind of it's kind of hard, right? That word, this gathering, a fulfillment of the language, more knowledge of the language, and how to deal with it and promote it more to more people. I really would like more knowledge of maybe fun things like games and storytelling and songs, especially drum dancing songs. I know it takes a lot of dollars to make materials out of songs, and you also need to pay the elders to create the songs, or not create the songs, but put in writing of the songs that are already there, so that the songs would live on and on throughout our generation. And so we don't have that, so we just learn by what we know. And what we know is we hear from our elders. And my dad, he taught us a song that he made himself. And he created this song that was so important to him. That was when those long ago days when they were living, and people had a lot of tuberculosis then. And so he was sent out to Edmonton because he had it. And so he was out for 10 years. But while he was out and he was so sick, and they were going to do an operation on him so that they could replace one side of his lung. But he had a dream. In his dream, he dreamt of an old man singing the drum dance song. And he remembered the song when he woke up, exactly how the old man sang the song. So he used it as a healing song. It was a song described in the song of how the song was so wonderful, and he got his first, as a boy, he got his first 3 animals that he actually got in his life, and also how he got well again in that song, and so after he got to sing that song and make the song, and he had his surgery, and he lived for many, many years after that.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember, did he ever sing the song to you? Like, do you know how to sing the
We
song?
always sing the song when we're drum dancing. It's a very special song because my dad passed away many years ago now already. But he lived to be an old man too. And so he was the leader of our drum dance leader long ago. And so he passed that song on to the people, and he learned, my sister, younger than me, how to sing the song properly, and so she wrote it down, and so we use that song all the time when we have drum dances, whenever we can.
Yeah.
And we use that song many times to describe about our drum dancing and how it works and what kind of songs we sing when we perform, when there's cruise ships coming into town. And we sing that a lot because a lot of cruise ships been going to Uvagut lately.
Really? Sorry, I forgot to ask who your dad was like.
His name was Kitekudlak. Yeah. And my mom was ऊᕙᒍաթ. Yeah, Kagayut.
And this song, do you have the lyrics or it's
Yeah, I would have to get my my papers too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe something you can send us and we can.
Oh yes, I will.
'cause
Yeah.
we could, have you sing it or read
Yeah,
it.
me
You
and my
don't
sister.
Do you remember it off the top of your head?
I know only a little bit of it, parts by parts, but I
Yeah.
might sing it wrong, so I'd rather give you the
Yeah.
lyrics and the song. Actually, maybe when we're having drum dance, we'll sing that song for you
I
and
wish
send it to you.
Yes, and I wish they would maybe do some drum dancing.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow. and do some.
But we'd have to have a drum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was given that drum that was made by my dad.
Mm.
He made a drum for my mom.
Yeah.
And so my mom had a drum. And when my parents passed away, and my mom passed away not long ago too, she lived to be 106 years old here at Long Term. And so I was given that drum dance. So I always keep that drum with me at all times, which has a little amulet on it, on the handle, which was made by my mother. It's a little zipper pull of sealskin mitts, and it's this tiny.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I use that on my drum,
Yeah.
and I love to do the freestyle. That's what I'm good at.
Yeah.
And I like to do the drumming too.
I think it's so important that you bring that up because it's so connected. You can't. It's hard to talk about language without bringing in all these other so important parts of the culture.
Yeah.
And so I wish they were doing more drum dancing. Maybe it's something we could see more.
Yeah, I wrote that down on our survey on the last part, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also the lyrics and that to be written.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Properly.
Yes. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Nutakatamaita Inuvialuit ऊᕙᒍաթ Uuktuk pagluhe ublok tamat mikigaluaktilugo imatut puyok nahokit puyok tailivaglugo ihumangne tay nahokitlugo ihuaktuming ublok tamat ayong nakpalyanaktok ilane ubaptut ukalang nialagunakiyuhi